Baby!
Baby!
Hi!
Hi.
Oh, 5 of 11. Oh, my goodness. Hey, look, yeah, I'm sorry, Carla.
You were supposed to meet me at?
At 10:30. Come on, let's go.
You
We can
know
go
something,
now.
I'm jealous of this thing.
What?
It gets to see a lot more of you than I do.
Oh, hey, I got some news for you, lady. You know, this story on the Dar es Salaam Bible is really tailor-made for front-page material, you know? I mean, it's got mystery and even an exotic princess.
And a cast of thousands and $1 million on the line, while all I've got is a 4-month-old and a teenager who haven't seen much of their father these past few weeks.
Now, wait a minute, baby. Every time I come home, Jimmy is outside playing with some of his friends.
Then give him something to stay home for. I mean, I need to see you, too. You know, I wouldn't have cared at all if we had gone to lunch and not said a word all meal long. I just need to be with you.
Baby, look, I am sorry. I mean, I even remembered to write down the time when I was supposed to meet you here somewhere. Right here, see? Look at that.
Honey, wait a minute.
What?
Do you know what déjà vu means? It means already seen. And I've already seen you this absorbed in your work. It was about 5 months before our separation.
Good morning, Your Highness. The latest from Jean Redlin.
Is the same article as earlier?
No, this is a late morning edition with a mention of Hugo Lancelot.
Ah, the gentleman who gave me this.
Apparently, Russ Weaver was his first victim. It says here that the Dar es Salaam Bible saved Mr. Weaver's life.
Have they found Lance?
No, I do not think so.
Then he must still have the Bible with him.
Huh. Apparently, this Lance is a most unscrupulous character.
Princess, he must be as eager to deal with us as we are with him.
Come now, Samir. If the police cannot find him, how can we?
I think I have an idea.
I just don't know anymore. I mean, I do care about the clinic. I just don't have the same kind of love for it.
You sound like you're breaking off an engagement or something.
Well, maybe I am. I don't know. I haven't made a decision yet.
Have you spent time alone? Expressed your confusion and all this to God and let him lead you?
He knows my problem.
Well, I'm not arguing that, but have you put yourself in a place where he could tell you what he wants?
The truth?
Yes, please.
Yes, I've done that, and all I got was silence.
Well, may I make a suggestion?
Please do.
Now, there are reasons for your restlessness. I don't know what they are, but why don't you take your Bible and go away for a couple of days and keep on asking for help? And I know that God will tell you not only what's wrong, but where he wants you. And I'm sure Lori would be happy with that, too.
That's an idea.
Coffee? Yeah, free refills here, right?
Yeah. There's a bargain platter on page 4. Would you gentlemen like to see the late morning edition of the Chronicle?
I would. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
Enough of my problems. What's the latest on Kingsley's cutest couple?
Kingsley's cutest couple?
Sure, why not?
Well, everything's just fine. Thank you.
So none of the police can find him, but you think you know how?
Well, not directly, but I do have an idea. Simon, you found out everything you could about Gene Redden, right?
I have. He is a very busy man. In addition to that, Your Highness, Dave Phillips, the man who brought the Dar es Salaam Bible to the auction, was falsely accused of murder.
Yes, of his wife. She's the one my father gave the Bible to.
He was cleared of those charges. But after that, Mr. Redden's personal crusade cleared Dave's daughter of the very same crime.
Impressive.
But before the Phillips trial, Gene Redden wrote a series of articles on organized crime that led to 3 important convictions. One of those men being Hugo Lancelot.
Small wonder he was on top of this, eh?
Wait a minute. Gene Redlon. Now, the night of the auction, as we were leaving, a gentleman came up to me and said he wanted to ask the princess some questions. I believe he identified himself as Gene Redlon.
And you didn't let him through?
I told him the princess did not give interviews.
That was foolish.
He was protecting me, Samir.
How could I know what was going to happen that night?
Describe him to me.
Oh, in his early 30s, not unattractive, black.
Your Highness, you're not going to ask him to help us find this Mr. Lancelot.
Oh, of course not. He'd never agree to that. But I do need to be near him, especially in a professional way.
You need a position at the Chronicle.
Well, after all, my father was educated in this country's capital. You know, many of his friends are now quite influential in the press. As I remember it, the Chronicle is published by Harrison Syndicators, yes, which is a division of Jewel Enterprises.
You are magnificent. How did you know all of
Oh,
this?
well, I had to talk with my father, but the point is, his connections are so high up the corporate ladder, tracing them will be almost impossible. And who knows? A few calls trickle down, and I just may have a job at the Chronicle.
No, Princess. No more disguises.
Yes, you could be recognized.
No. No, I've only made one public appearance, and my picture has not appeared in the newspaper. And after all, a woman who has an ability with makeup and hair and clothing, yes, she can change her appearance at any time. It's the way a chameleon does.
But your voice, your accent.
Well, honey, I've watched enough films to fit right in, wouldn't you say?
Now, wait a minute, Carla. Don't go throwing words around like that just for the effect.
I'm not, Gene. I'm serious. This is the way our divorce started.
At the time you were pursuing your own career, that had something to do with it, too. Don't
I
forget
gave up that career with the understanding that you wouldn't let this run your life either.
I know that, but what am I supposed to do? McGovern comes out here, he wants 3 articles on this Dar es Salaam Bible, 3 editions in a row. And what am I supposed to tell the man? You tell me. Tell him no, huh?
Yeah, tell him no.
Look, it's not that easy, Carla, believe me.
Listen, I'm not that crazy about McGovern either, but I know that he can be understanding.
Yes, about as understanding as 10 other guys who are waiting for me to drop any story that they can take themselves. That's how understanding McGovern is.
You mean to tell me that you're not secure enough in this job to let that happen?
Carla?
Look, baby, I'm not gonna argue about that now because I found that doesn't work. But let me tell you something, honey. If you keep this up, one day you're going to come home and you're going to find that Jimmy is 18 years old, and the time that you should have spent with him, helping him grow into manhood, would have been gone forever.
Carla!
No. Wait. Forget about lunch. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to make something special for dinner. Okay?
You mean that?
Yeah.
Look, thanks, babe. Thanks.
The Alzheimer's disease has taken complete control.
Then the doctors have given up all hope?
Oh, no, they're not as definitive as that. No. They live in an eternal fear of being proved wrong. It's ridiculous. The last discussion I had with a doctor, we spent more time talking about the Blackhawks' chances of winning the Stanley Cup than we did Phyllis's condition. On the way over, we passed a funeral. And a very strange feeling.
Oh, come off it, Preston. You remember what Father used to say. Where there's life, there's hope.
Yes, that's just about as original as Pop ever got.
Yes, and let's not review any more of his biography today.
No. The old man did leave us debt-free. And when Courtney marries Vaughn, I'll be doing the same.
Really, Preston. You know, Phyllis's condition is certainly bleak, but you've got all your health. What is this death and dying bit? I almost died a few months ago. You don't hear me talking about its inevitability.
No more than you ever faced the facts or grasped the obvious before.
As usual, wrong again. I have always faced the facts. Now, let's take your situation, for instance. I would hardly characterize a wedding between Vaughn and Courtney as the ideal marriage. On the other hand, it is proving very effective and very practical in helping you solve your financial problems.
Now, forgive me if I don't jump for joy.
There you are. Instead of facing reality, you're going to hold up this marriage to a yardstick of every sentimental thought you've ever had for Courtney and then wallow in guilt at its shortcomings. Now, there's something I would never do.
As I recall, you weren't doing handsprings when Miriam married Paul.
I had nothing to gain from that marriage. And incidentally, if Peter Davidson were marrying Courtney, then I think you'd have something to grumble about.
And if Phyllis should die tomorrow, and Courtney refused to marry Vaughn, and you'd lose your promised seat on the board of Carpenter Shipping.
Now, wait a minute, Preston. Is the doctor really saying that about Phyllis?
Yes. No, don't worry, Charles. Where there's life, there's hope.
Hello? Oh, yes, Dr. Garrett. I'll put him on.
Would you excuse me?
Yeah, I'll be in the den.
Yes, doctor. Yes, this is Preston Carpenter. I don't understand. Well, how much better?
Well, Terry and I have been taking it one step at a time. Apparently, she's been interested in me for quite some time now.
Well, come on, that's not any big surprise.
Well, if you had let me in on it, I might have known.
Well, you forget, she may be your sweetheart, but she's still my mother-in-law.
Yeah, but you did know.
Well, who didn't?
Well, come on now. I'm not that dense, am I? Don't answer that.
Let's just say you've been preoccupied with other problems.
Now that I'll go along with.
To tell you the truth, Lori knew a whole lot more about it than I did. She dropped these little hints to me every now and then. Things like, Mom talked about Dave again today.
Well, Terry is a very beautiful lady. You know, it seems that I've had to get used to being single 3 times now. Once when Kate divorced me, once when the efforts for trying to get back together again failed, and then when she died. And each time I felt that God was trying to make it clearer and clearer that I was supposed to be alone.
Then comes Terry.
Yeah, then comes Terry. Well, I think the clinic's about ready to open.
Oh,
We
no,
should be going.
hey, wait. How come I get the feeling you're cutting me off right before we get to the good part?
Now, come on.
No, come on. Let me read the paper here. Check out the Chronicle. See what's the latest on the Dar Salaam.
It's probably on the front page.
You're absolutely right. Hey, wait a minute.
What is it?
Listen to this. After a burst of gunfire involving Harold Webster, custodian of the Dar Salaam Bible, convicted kidnapper Hugo Lancelot made off with the mysterious treasure.
Hugo Lancelot has got the Bible?
According to this, come on, let's get back to the clinic. We'll call Gene and get the details.
Okay.
He's got it. I bet he's had it all the time.
Have you had a chance to decide yet?
Oh, you bet I have.
Isn't it settled? My name will be Janice Wright. Yes, and we'll tell them that I'm from Rhode Island and went to Bishop College. Yes, Father. Yes. Yes, Father.
So, the masquerade is on.
It sure is. Now finding land should be no problem at all.
This is wrong. I stand against this move.
Samir, this is the decision of your king. You cannot question it, no matter how you feel about the princess.
Ulanda Dar Salaam does not belong in such a precarious place. She will be taking risk you were hired to take.
Well, good, then I will dress up like Janice Wright.
If your father could arrange for you to get a job, he could do the same for me instead.
Well, Samir, I think that disguising you might be a little difficult.
I've never met this Redland.
Samir, I hate to say that you stand out in the crowd, but if you will remember your eloquent bids at the auction, No, I think it is more reasonable that Mr. Redlawn will never forget you.
Now do you see why it has to be me?
It appears as if Your Highness will enjoy this new identity, as you have your previous roles. Why don't you just admit it?
Samir, I think it might be best if you and I went to check out the newsstands for the latest word about the Bible.
No. You go ahead, Felix. I will speak with Samir privately.
Do not ask me for an apology. I meant every word.
Do realize that I could ask for your head and have it.
I am to be blamed because I see an obvious danger for the woman I love?
Dr. Garrett, I do not understand. 2 days ago, you were ready to sign a death certificate for Phyllis. Well, yes, I know you've said that all along. She was asking for me? Well, yes, of course. I just got here, but I can fly right back. Doctor, what guarantee do I have when I get back to Rose Hill that she'll still be coherent? All right, I understand, and I do appreciate being notified. Goodbye.
Same prognosis?
What? Oh, not exactly.
President, you all right?
I've got to get back to Rose Hill immediately. Phyllis needs me.
No, wait a minute. Is this an emergency?
I suppose so.
Samir is a woman you love has no romantic dreams at all.
My dreams or her own? You only wish you could serve Doria with as united a heart and mind as you pretend.
She can be the best and strongest country on the African coast.
And you, her most beautiful leader, for the simple fee of your womanhood.
What does all this have to do with your objections to Janice Wright?
When we were in South America, securing arms for your father's avenging troops, you dressed as a Colombian peasant.
Yes, and played the part quite well, I might add.
Too well. And the nightclub singer in Madrid.
Oh, Samir, you are jealous of my disguises, even.
I see through them. I know what you're doing, Yolanda. You're living out the lives you will never know as Queen of Doria. You're reveling in the common life that your heritage has denied you.
And if I were, what danger is there in that?
You will lose sight of your destiny. You will build an identity so alluring, so carefree, that you will not come back.
You insult my allegiance to Doria.
Even as you said, what a great country Doria could be. I notice your weakened enthusiasm.
Oh, no. You notice only what your heart wants to see.
Why would I look for my queen to forsake her calling?
No, you look for weaknesses that you can fill. You would create for yourself a need in my life that has never been there.
You loved me once.
Yes. And I was a child once, too. And I lived in a palace once. I loved you as the only man my father would allow near me. When my father was overthrown, I was shipped around the globe, a refugee. Yes. Yes, I accepted identities and accents because no one would accept me for who I was. My father and I were like diplomatic lepers. You will forgive me if I wanted to be someone else.
Those times are over. Soon, when the Dar es Salaam Bible is recovered and sold and the insurgent army funded, you will be restored as heir to the Dorian throne.
Yes. I will be restored to the throne, but not as a child. So do not expect childish adoration from me, Samir.
Your Highness, I will serve you. and protect you. And in time, you will love me again.
Lance? Are you here? It's me, it's Paula. It's your little doll baby. Where are you, sweetheart?